If not, I will email her and apologize. Okay, so today's morning session is on Flippity. We are going to be working mainly in Google Sheets. This is the same thing as Microsoft Excel, except for it's in the Google environment. The main things to really consider when you're working in Sheets versus Microsoft is that Google Sheets is, because it's online, has a few more extra bells and whistles that Microsoft does not have when it comes to the formulas and the ability to put code in the background that allows you to do a few more things that make this kind of a fun opportunity to play around with. So we will kind of jump into that. I am going to say that the website that we're going to be playing around with is this one right here. It's called Flippity. The link is in the session board. I put all of the information in the session board so everybody has access to everything. So when you go in, we're going to actually play with this matching game. For this example, when I click on that, it's going to go to Flippity. This is what Flippity looks like. They have tons and tons of games that then come out of the Google Sheet environment. Each one of them is going to have a demo, instructions, and a template. When you come into the demo, it's actually going to let you play whatever game is there. Okay. Okay, so you would play the game. You have the option to turn sound on and off. You have show and hide numbers for this. You can time yourself how long you've been playing the game or how long it took you to play the game. And then if you want to reshuffle, you just hit the little button. So this lets them practice things like colors. You could do different types of notes. You could do vocabulary. You could do a lot of different things in here to kind of play that little game. Oops. When I go back, I can go into the instructions, and the instructions are all going to be in here, including the template. So you do not have to go back one more time to find the template. It will also be in the directions when you go through. For this specific one, I've already made all of my templates, so I'm going to pull that up real quick. It's supposed to be quicker. All right, we want this one. So it doesn't look like much when you're in here. You have tabs down at the bottom. You can see that they're color-coded. So in the demo, it's going to give you what terms and alt terms we already played with. So that little splotch for colors was in there. So you can kind of pull that out and see that that one was the red splotch, the orange splotch, the yellow splotch. And then on the other side, it has the audio and the term. Okay. So you can see that they turned audio for those on, and that's how they got that little piece. Okay, so then you get the options. You have the card back is that red thing. You could change that picture if you wanted. The done text is done, or you can change the message that they get. And then you have two different types of games in this one. You have memory and matching. The memory is going to show them all the cards first. No, I'm sorry. The matching is going to show all the cards first, and they're just matching it. So if you wanted uppercase and lowercase or something like that, it would let them find pairs of things. And then the memory, of course, is the one where it flips and you have to find the pairs. So you have two kind of options within that game. And then on the last page, each one of these templates is going to give you the link to your matching game. And it's going to tell you if there's anything that you need to do before it goes live, like publishing, okay? And again, it's going to tell you what publishing looks like as well. So what's kind of fun about this one, when you're in here, you're going to edit the terms. The more terms you use, you might make the cards larger than their screen. So kind of think about the ability to see all the cards on the screen. They kind of give you, I think, 20 plus on there. So just kind of keep that in mind that, again, it's 2 cards per each one. So that's 40 cards on that page. So you can kind of think about what kind of spacing that needs to be. The alt terms is optional. that means that the players match each term to its alternate. So in the example, you had the color as the word, and then you had an image. Okay, so that they were matching an image to its term, so that's where you could choose the vocabulary and things like that. In another case, you could just put the colors in here and it will duplicate it on this one. Okay, so if it was red and red, it would be red and red. You're going to have the same term in one set column of terms, or you'll have two that they're matching. Okay, so that's what that means. And then anything, and he says this on every single one of them, don't edit anything with a blue background. That's kind of his way of telling you that that's going to mess up something for you. If that happens, though, just go right back to the template and start over again. So it's not going to make a big difference when it comes to that. Again, to publish, you're going to go to copy. You go down to publish on the web, and you want to do the entire document and publish. Once it's published, then it's going to play the game like he did in the demo. So we'll do that. Sorry, I need to turn all of that off. So now that it's published, I have that, but then I can come down here and get my link. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of all of these so we can see the difference. We then should have words only without splotches. And one of them will have a sound and one won't. Okay? And so as you keep playing, then you would have just the words. Okay? So that's kind of how quick and easy it is to just go ahead and make it. Just remember that as you're going through here, you'll want to make one of these for each item. You wouldn't want to use this same one over and over again. Otherwise, your template link is going to get mixed up between what game you're playing each time you make a change in here, because once you've published it, it will continue publishing whatever the last change is that you've done in here. So down below, some of the things to think about if you're wanting to put pictures and things in. One of the things I do want you to think about is you cannot use Google Drive to store your images. Okay. It is going to be a URL of a picture, though. So you have to kind of think, how do I get a URL of a picture instead? And think about how you're going to host some of those different things, whether you have it in a Padlet, whether you have it in a website and you're linking it back to your website, use Google Drawings, things like that. Otherwise, you can come to Google and you can search for images. So this time we're going to do another apple. And I want images. And when you come into tools, it gives you a new toolbar down here, and you can go to your usage right, and we want labeled for reuse. Okay, so that means I can use any of these objects without having it worried about licensing or Creative Commons or having to attribute it or anything like that. So digital citizenship wise, I'm good to use any of these pictures. And then when I right click on it, I can copy the link address, and that then can go in my alt terms. Okay. So that's kind of how that little section of how to get links into for my URLs. That might be the most simple way. Okay. It does tell you down here the game that you're playing, so customization for that. So if we go back to Flippity, another really great one would be the tournament bracket. And so what's fun about this is that as you click each person, it's going to fill in the next one. So this makes it interactive. to be able to play kind of a tournament. That's kind of what it is. And then as it advances, then again, you choose who advances to each one. Tanya, I was actually thinking maybe your Masked Singer, if you ever got, you may not have this many people, but you could make your things a little bit more, but you'd have a winner. um, Again, control click to clear everything. Your little options come up here that are already up here for you. So you can reload your bracket. You can seed your brackets or randomize your brackets, and then print the end result as well. So that one's kind of a fun one. When you go into the template, again, you're going to make a copy each time. And this is how you change how many people then would be in that group. So if I just wanted a smaller selection, come in and publish. Okay, and you'd see my bracket changed based on the number of people. Obviously did not change or did not select enough in that example, but you can kind of see what that looks like to make a smaller bracket. And that one's kind of fun because you just have two options, so it makes it easier for you to figure out all the different pieces. Is there any of them you want to see for sure?
So, Kate, just real quick question on that bracket thing that you just did.
Uh-huh.
Is that mostly for the teacher to manipulate, or can you send that to each student to vote? Like if I did do that Masked Singer thing, would I be able to send that and all the kids would get to pick their bracket kind of? Or I don't know how that would work. I guess that would be for me, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They would all vote and you do like a, what is it? What is the poll one? Is it poll everywhere?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And then you would move whoever advanced forward. But you could have this more or less live for them to see, you know?
Right, yeah. And you can publish this like on your website.
Uh-huh.
It stays live and you can just keep updating it or something like that.
And if you're wanting it live on the website, when you come up to that publish to the web, there's an embed area and you can put that and embed it into the page.
Okay.
So just in case, I kind of pulled it out and kind of put each part of this, even though it has instructions, I just wanted everybody to be able to go through it on their own as well if they wanted to. So you can go through and look at each one. This is going to tell you what's in each part. Make sure that you are making your copy so you can work off of your own. I didn't think that you really cared to put the terms in there, but we can if you want to. This was one of the options I was going to do. But then unless you have any other questions, that's kind of flippity. You're the only one here, so you get the option.
Yeah, I just need to go play with it, but I did play with the that randomizer yesterday. And my thought was I just put in a bunch of different so that in the end the kids can create a sentence that they would then make a song out of, or create a song using that random. But then I guess that would be something that I could not send to the kids, right?
You should be able to send the randomizer. They should, and that's one of the next examples I'm going to show is how to do like the emoji randomizer one. Okay. And that I'm not sure if I did the played with the randomizer one on this one. This one?
Yeah. Yes. And I created just some, a funny song kind of thing. And then the kids would just randomize their sentence and then they had to create a song based on that,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was a cute idea.
Yeah, so it's loading. It's not liking me for the minute. So you should be able to put all of those in there, and you should be able to then publish it. And once it's published, there's your link. That's what you share.
Okay.
So you would just share that link with them and they get this.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that
then they
makes sense.
come in and spin the wheel. So yeah, you should be able to do it or spin the whole thing with that one.
And this is only sharing through Google Classrooms, or can I also put that link on one of my choice boards in
Yeah, you
C?
could put the link in a choice board. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that one's a lot of fun too. I actually probably just skipped over that one, but yeah, because that goes right into the next one that we're going to talk about on the other website that has all of the emoji ones, which I think are fun.
Yeah, and then and I understand that it has to be for an image, you have to have the URL. But can you save those URLs in a Google document so you have them later? You can
Yes.
do that, right? Yeah, okay.
Yes, it just can't live in Google, if that makes sense. So if I took a picture and I uploaded it to my Google Drive and I had it saved in my picture files, I couldn't use that URL.
Right,
It
okay.
won't work. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yep.
Is that mostly because of the sharing? You'd have to share everything and it would just be
I
it would
think so. I'm
something.
sure he has all kinds of whys, but this one doesn't have nearly as many of them accessible. The next one has almost an explanation for everything, why he chose something, and he'll tell you about that. This one just has them made for you that you
Okay,
can come in. So,
all right.
yeah.